Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesomecallstrading.com um, trade review live recap. Yes, for April 22nd, 2019. I want to thank you so much for joining and listening to us. Well, what can I say? It was, you know, I know sometimes we don't like holidays because we all love to trade. And let me turn my phone off because I don't want any interruptions while I do this. But I have to tell you, this weekend I was doing a lot of tweets and getting everything excited, and I was excited, and I couldn't wait to come to work, and I actually couldn't hardly sleep last night. I was up at 3:30 sharp this morning. I was just so ready to just trade, and I missed everyone, and our family is growing in here, and we had quite a few new signups. And I don't know, I was really excited to show people that and traders that it just doesn't stop. I think that's one of the things that I love about our room is just we just don't stop. We just keep going and going and going and but it really comes down to just really the confidence and understanding the trade and learning. You know, I've had the room for almost 6 years, and I haven't in the last 5 years I have not raised the rates at all. I've kept them at $6.75. The room has improved tremendously. I haven't changed as a trader tremendously. I have grown to some probably one of the elite traders in the world as a day trader that can see things and visualize things to a great trader. I feel I'm very confident in my calls and what I see and how I perceive the news. Um, the moderators, for the most part, I have a great crew that have been here for years and years. A few have moved on, as you all know. I mean, it's Awesome Calls Trading. I mean, I trained probably 12 chat rooms from this room, and that's probably why we don't really get trolled on. To be honest with you, it's a little bit different if you're a new room and you barely started and you've been trading less than 5 years. You really don't have much. I mean, not people people really can't learn from you other than maybe your technical trading. And yeah, you do pretty good on options here and there and decent calls, but your overall perception of the market, you're not all there. I mean, you haven't traded the market like for 10, 15 years. So you're really limited on your experience, which means you're limited on your ideas that you present to your traders. And one of the things that I think Awesome Calls Trading has done is it has proven over and over that we do train some of the top uh, people out there, and we groom leaders, and I mean that sincerely. I mean, that's what we do. Um, but at the end of the day, this is the room. I mean, you're in a room that just gets better and better, even though maybe someone starts a room, it really doesn't change us because we're the ones that just keep growing. And with today's market, you really need to evolve. I mean, every day you have different opportunities that come up, and you have to be able to read them and understand them. Today, for instance, RHE. I've never heard of that stock before. I've never traded it in my life. In 16 years of day trading since I was young, I never saw that stock. I didn't even know it existed. But remember, I keep teaching you as a trader, once you understand the news and you read through it, that's it. That's all you need. You could be, like I said, I can say this 1,000 times. You could be the greatest technical analysis trader in the world. You really can. But you're not going to trade a stock if it's not in play. Then you adapt your analysis to it. But you got to find the stock first to adapt your analysis to it, right? And so what I do think that we do really well in this room is the consistency of finding plays every day, different plays. And that's what's important about day trading. Yes, you can go into these small cap rooms and be told what to do and play with one or two stocks. You can go in the pizza room and have hats and be everybody's buddy and friend and go out to party and get drunk till 4 in the morning and barely trade. That's great. I'm happy if that works for you. And then you trade a 40-cent stock 50,000 times, and I guess that's a winner. Hey, great. I mean, then you got the copycat rooms that just copy our list and put it in their rooms and then pretend they know what they're doing. That's great. And then you get the ones that are just kind of like the so-so rooms that just kind of they feed off of the Twitter. They find their stuff off of trade ideas, and that's a majority of them. And then you got the pump and dump rooms, which you only play one stock. Maybe you're lucky with two, and maybe if there's not any, if they can't find anything, you don't get to play anything. You go back to bed because they tell you there's nothing to play. But in here, it's all day long, from 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, Gianni in pre-market is in here. He's a moderator. He lives in Italy, Greece, and he's here in the morning with Palmer and a few others, giving ideas and making trades and talking to a lot of traders. And then as the time goes on, then Fire comes in here after he does his pre-market list. He has his ideas. Dark Side, myself. I'm already doing my homework, you know. But the most important thing is you the trader, you know. And when you're here, I want you to learn. I don't want you just to take an idea and go, wow, that worked. I really want you to really get involved. Um, what works. You know what I mean? Like, why did it work? Today, you're going to get a webinar from, we all follow Ali Biggs. And do you know today on his uh, webinar, he did over $300 on his $500 challenge. Um, Actually, it's right here. He just recorded it and set it up. I mean, $304. I mean, I believe he is up. Um, I think on his $500 challenge, I think he is up. Like, I don't even want to say. I want him to tell you. By the end of the month, he's going to tell you. And I think he's going to do something very special for a lot of you accounts that have less than 500 or less than $1,000. I think he's going to do something, and for you all. And I think you're going to really love it. His idea for next month, especially if you're not in our room. Um, I mean, just really phenomenal things that go on. But it really comes down to, again, Ollie trades off our list, just like a majority of the traders in here do. And then they learn from that list. And this, to me, is the golden list. Now, for $6.75, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but if, if for $6 a day and you get this presented to you every day with ideas, why, you know, and when I look around, I mean, there really is no competition of what we do. And then you look at other rooms that they charge you to get in a room, but then you have to pay extra to get into a special room, and then you got to pay a little bit extra to get a DVD to learn how to trade in that special room. So they whack you 4 times just to be able to make a trade. And if that ain't upselling, I don't know what is. In here, I got nothing to sell you. What am I going to sell you? I'm going to sell you. What am I selling? I don't need to sell you. I'm not a fucking salesman. I'm a trader. So what I'm showing you is, like, I don't need to sell you. Imagine me. Well, you can come in my room, but I'm going to have a separate room where I can DM you. Okay, everyone can DM me in my room. Oh, and by the way, you have to get this DVD here for $3.99 to watch what I do. Okay, listen, motherfucker. I don't need shit. If I'm going to pay you $6 a day, I want you to teach me from day one. From the moment I walk in, I want you to show me how the fuck to trade. Even if I'm a newbie or I'm a seasoned veteran, teach me. Okay? Don't sell me. Okay? So that's what I do in here. I don't want to sell you anything. I want you to learn. Because the more you learn, the reason behind the move, the better trader you'll become, the more confident of a trader you'll become, and the more money. Confidence comes with more money because you believe in what you're seeing, you believe in the idea, you're looking at it, and you understand it. When you start to understand how to read a stock, I swear to you, it will change your life for the rest of your life. It'll change your life for the rest of your life. You ever seen that movie Casino? You ever watch the guy Ronald Rothstein? Remember Rothstein or whatever his name was? Right? I don't know if you haven't seen Casino. Well, Rothstein, he ran a casino and so forth, and yada yada, whatever he did. But you know what he was good at? He was good at at finding winners. I mean, that was the end of the day. Whether he ran the casino or he did the numbers or he did the horses or the college games, he could earn because he could see things that other people couldn't see. And there's a few traders in the world that that can do this. And then there's very few in the day trading world that can do what I do. And what is it I do? I seek out news. I seek out gaps, news, uh, and then I look at the stock and I analyze it. And I don't overanalyze it. Before I used to overanalyze it. Now I don't overanalyze it. I look at it and I'm like, I've come so far where I believe in the idea of what it's going to do and why. And again, that's where I came into my own. Because when I started the room, I was good at what I did, but I still didn't get the why. I was good, but I didn't get the why until about 2 or 3 years in. Then the why hit me. And believe me, I hadn't been trading 10, 12 years prior, right? Once the why hit me, then it became more easier to show the trader, look, this is why it moved. This is why it went here. This is why this did that. You explain the why to a trader, and that's the difference between this room. Now everybody seems to want to explain the why. Everyone out there is like, I want to explain the why. Let me show you the why it moved. It's like you almost have to laugh. It's like, where were you all these years? Because they're newbies. They're still learning the game, and they're listening to our webinars, and they're listening to how I talk on Twitter. So they got to emulate everything we do here. Ultimately, this is the room to learn. Once you spend some time in here, you start to get a concept how the market works. And if you're a day trader who trades the action and momentum of a stock, whether it's a short or a long, and you make your money based on the movement of that stock going up or down, you are a day trader. To be a great day trader, you want to understand the news and the move behind the stock. You understand that, you make your money. You can apply all the technical analysis. You can apply all the charts. You can apply all the VWAPs, all the EMAs. But you got to have the substance behind the move first. You get the news, apply the charts, make your money. For me, I don't use the charts like most of you do in here. I'm in a little bit of a different world. Now, I'm going to start. I have MBRX up here. This morning, Palmer, a part-time trader, a moderator in here, got up this morning and at about 10 minutes to 6 announced to the entire room that MBRX would be in play today. And it's because on a clinical stage company, um, they have significant news in their lung cancer clinical stage drug. You have to understand, in keywords is cancer. After Palmer left, Raphael came in here, and a couple traders went long off of 130. They were holding at 130, and I believe Raphael came in at 137 and let everyone know the buyer was coming in, which is right here. This is the time he said the buyer coming in, which is 500,000 shares, and then another one came in at 700, and there's your buyers. And he noticed that. He immediately told the room, buyers are in. You see that? And when you have buyers that come in with 1.1 million in shares, those are the traders that are looking for the significant move to the upside. You just have to wait for them. And that was the buyer right there. Now you could have used this buyer here, 136 and 434 and 477, that million there. But to me, I think this would have been the most significant. And that's where Raphael came in and said, look at the buyer coming in at 137. So, and from there, he's just been walking it up live in the room all the way up to 3. So, again, this was a great play. You have to acknowledge Several people were on it. Two of the mods were on it. And a couple of day traders were actually trading off the 130 level, asking me to hold it. And this was not on my list, which is why it makes this room so much great. So everyone still gets an opportunity. Even if I didn't play it, my number one list I had to go after was RHE. I had to kind of go after that one. One, it really, because I'd never traded it before, and I really go after things to learn too. And imagine that. I'm on the spot, never traded a stock in my life, and I got to present it to everyone. I got to put it in writing, and then I got to be right. I can't fuck up. you know. But the news told me what it was doing. It was moving in pre-market this morning and Friday after close, or Thursday after the close, and it was moving significant. I'm like, huh, this is up $1. I wonder why. So I immediately did my research, and I found out that they sold four, I believe it was four nursing homes. Here, I'll show you. Okay, RHE. So this morning they sold, see, they sold four skilled nursing facilities for $28 million. Okay, but there's a couple things I'm going to teach you. Okay, I'm going to teach you right now. And are you ready? Can you look up and tell me, traders in the room, can you look at this headline right here and tell me what's wrong with that? Tell me the one word that says short the stock. Can everyone look up that I highlighted and just tell me the one word? One word. There's one word in that sentence. If you can see it, you are a trader. You understand awesome calls trading. Okay? That one word is plan. They haven't sold anything. Okay? I plan to be a billionaire tomorrow. Okay? I plan on trying to sell my house for 97 million, even though it's worth 4. You know, I plan to go sell my G-Wagon for $2 billion. Yeah. Even though it's worth like 100. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Plan doesn't mean anything. Okay? There's no contract. All right? They're opening up an escrow. It doesn't even mean it's going to be valued yet. Okay? Do you see that? One word, and that's all you need. It's all you need. So, what happens? How do you trade it? Well, you first have to laugh. Okay, get that out of your system. And then you got to attack it. And how do you attack it? Well, first you got to look at the stock and go, well, this will be at $2. Boom. Next. Okay. How do I get to $2 now? Well, in order for me to get to $2, I know shorts are going to squeeze, right? First of all, two things happen, right? Forget the buyers that are going to buy. Forget the newbies that are buying the stock. Okay, you got a bunch of those, all United States, right? Buying the stock because they don't understand it. Then you've got the short sellers, everyone piling over each other trying to get their short positions. So you're going to get those guys and girls, right? Then you're going to get the short squeeze of the people shorting the stock that are stuck in the stock that want to get out. So you have to anticipate the move. How do you do that? You immediately go into your chart and you go, okay, the stock is sitting at around 250, 280. So I told everyone in the room, go long. Go long. All right. I already know the stock's going to sell off to 2 and under. That's already given because the news told me it's a piece of shit. There's nothing value here. But before I get there, I got to set it up. How do I set it up? The two things. I know the shorts are going to come in there and want to get out. And I know new short sellers are going to come in there and build positions. The more they stack over each other, the higher the squeeze. Now, I did think it would go to 350 from 250. That was my thought. This extra squeeze it took me a little bit by surprise, but it wasn't that I didn't anticipate it because once I saw it squeeze a little bit past the 350 mark where I wanted, I immediately told the trading room, okay, wait. I know it's going to short, don't worry, but we got to pull it up. So I pulled up a 180, and I saw my chart, and I saw that it had room right here, right there, to 386. So I told traders, I don't think it'll fill this 5 spot, but I definitely think that I can get you that other one, that it had room to 5. If it doesn't break this 386, it would have room to 5, but I don't think it'll do that. Okay, so let's just see how it plays out. But this is the target I was after. All right, and so at that point, once it stopped and started to pull, you got a topping right here. See the topping? Once the lower low set in and it broke the flag, the stock was done. There was no need to play the stock anymore. There's no higher high set in, so it wasn't going to break out to the 5 level at all. It hit just this 386 on a short, just enough, and tipped it right over there. After that, it had room to 5 if it was to make one more move. But the lower lows started to set in right here, and the stock was over. Now it's on a descendant to 2. Now it's everyone trying to find their stock. Who can get the shorts? Okay, and then the stock just ended up coming out, and now it's sitting at 240, and this will break. Now during the day, when you're trading a stock like this, traders will ask me, AJ, it's starting to curl, should I go long? And I always steer away from that. I teach traders, listen, they're just trying to accumulate shares. In the end, it's going to pull. Don't worry, it's going to come back down. There's no reason for the stock to be up to begin with. Always remember that. You always have to look at the news. And even if they sold, if you research this company further, which a lot of you don't, they have about $90 million in debt. So even if they sold the facilities and they were lucky to get 28 million, there's still going to be about 50 to 60 million in the hole. A lot of you didn't know that. I did. I did my homework. So every indication showed me this wasn't going to hold. Let it squeeze. Give me an area where to probably stop, which is right here. If it broke this 420, then you had room to 5. If it didn't and lower low set in, now you're back to 2. That's where the stock is headed. Again, the trade wasn't in the chart. All right. The trade initially reacted in the news. Once you understand the news, you know how to trade it. You know where the stock's going to go. If you're a huge short seller in the room, this is your bread and butter. You don't need for me to impress you with thousands of DVDs in different areas, in different chat rooms, and this moderator and that moderator. You don't need all that. You don't need to go in there 75 times to figure out to make one trade for 12 cents. You don't need to do that. Just the news will tell you where the stock's going to head back down. Okay? Let's do another one. CGC. This was one of my favorites today. And I want you to see how I wrote it this morning. CGC has a price target of $70 from a tier 1 analyst. All right? This stock is in play. It's heading to 50. I told everyone on Thursday, buy the stock. It'll head on Wednesday. The stock will head towards 50, and it's going there. There's no ands, ifs, or buts, or more. And yesterday with 420, April 20th here in the U.S., man, I was driving down. I saw every pot store with lines and cops all around there, and Jesus, they were just lined up around the block. So every pot store, well, that means CGC, A, B, C, or whatever that one is, and Cron, they're all going to fly today. Why wouldn't they? They're all weed related, right? Everybody's smoking pot, of course. All right, but CGC is the one that pretty much is the focus point. TLRY is coming down. It's crashed down like 50 in the 50s now, and CGC is going to probably take over the top spot, in my opinion. And it's on its way, and it's the one that the analysts love the most, more than TLRY. So today I saw the stock gapping up. See the gap up on everyone smoking weed yesterday? So I figured, you know what? Why don't we get a pullback to the 45 area and then go long and take it to 48 today? And if you want to look at my notes, it's exactly how I wrote it. Okay? So I wrote right here on CGC. This is gapping up a pop. I would like to see a little bit more push at the open and then a flush pullback to $45. Once it does, the stock will head towards 48. I cannot be more clearer on a call. So if you just ignored the initial call that was going to pop and then short it, all you had to do was wait for that 45 area to come in. I'm talking 45.20, 45.50, 45.40, 45.30, 45. Get that 45 and you're going to go to 40. I'm already telling you, you're going to get 3 points on the trade. I'm already telling you, I'm pounding the table. Look, traders, it closed at 44.56. The closer we get to 45, long it and go to 48. It's still in play. Okay? Looking for continuation on the stock. Again, entry, the reason, where it's going, and the why. You can't lose. All right? Now, if this thing flushed down and went to $40 and grinded, you could fire me. But the stock is gapping up on 420. All right? Everybody's buying the stock now. B of A still hasn't changed their stance on it. It's still $70 price target. It's in play. It's going higher. So you could buy a bunch of contracts, $50 contracts when it hits 45. Now look at the stock. It's not that hard. You don't have to make it difficult to day trade. All right? Ding, 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 ding. AJ said it'll come down to 45. There it goes. $45.06. What do you want from a trading room? What do you want? What excuse could you even remotely come up with that you would just ignore this call? And now the stock is 48.25. And now you look at it like, I should have took that. Man, I should have traded that. Why didn't I trade that? I wish I could have traded that. You wish? Okay. You want to see another one? PYX. This one, I don't know. This might get top dog spot today. This one, okay. Let me kind of explain to you something. All right. And for all you mods in other rooms that came from here, and of course you other mods that are just in here because fuck, you're losing subs. Listen, when a bank takes a position in a stock, or a company like a Goldman or Morgan Stanley, and they have interest in a stock, and that stock doesn't gap up, you better believe without a shadow of the doubt that stock is going to run. We were the only traders, the only chat room on the planet that even played this today. This was our idea from the get-go. And anybody in any room that you're saying after the fact that played it, copied directly from here. No one saw this. And you know how? I'm going to show you on PYX this morning, right here. Right? Newswatch is one of my great Newsware and Newswatch. They're like one of my great services I use for scans. Do you realize that none, PN, Dow Jones, and FO, none of them had the reason for the stock to be in play today? None of them. Do you know how I found this? Briefing. Briefing in Play Plus. And you know what it said? It said that Morgan Stanley has taken a 5% stake in PYX. Now I want you to ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a question. Is that significant? Is that news? Or is it just fuck off? That's not news. I'm not gonna. Let's trade Apple. Let's trade Nevada. Yeah, I want to trade those instead. Okay. Imagine if you took 5,000 shares and you joined Morgan Stanley. All right, and the stock didn't even gap. You're gapping up 10 cents, or not at all. Could you imagine if you took 5,000 shares, 2,000 shares, and you just followed Morgan Stanley? If Morgan Stanley is going to take a position in a stock, wouldn't you? If they're going to take a 5% cut of the company, don't you think that's significant news? I'd be ashamed as a day trader and as a professional day trader if I did not see this stock. I would have been ashamed. But again, it's just one trade. I think this was number 2. So here's the call, right? Well, Morgan Stanley took a 5% stake in the company, long at 1770. Any pull at the open, Jesus, it's Christmas. The stock's going to go at 1850 on this news today. No question. How do I know that? Am I stupid? Am I a fucking idiot? Think about it. How the fuck would I know that? Well, what do you think about it? Morgan Stanley, say it again, because a lot of you didn't play this. And I know a lot of you are sitting there listening to this like, fuck, I could have paid my car payment. I could have paid my insurance. I could have took 1,000. I could have. Imagine if you weren't even in this room, you wouldn't have got shit because you were playing dumbass stocks. Okay? But for the 30-cent risk, I was already telling you you're going to make a point. What more do you want for $6 a day? You want to leave here? Go to another room? Fine. Get the fuck out. Go somewhere else. See if they can make you that. But if you're going to be in here, these are your opportunities. And it's my job to point them out. You want to see the stock? You want to see the entry? Entry, 1770. Add on any pop, pull at the open. And where did I say it would go? Within 30 seconds to a minute of the opening, it already hit 1850. You could have been done. 1,000 shares, $1,000. Done for the day. Have a nice day. Go back to bed. If you had 1,000 shares, you would have made 2,000 in 12 minutes of work. Now, and all of you are sitting there going, fuck, fuck. How did I not see that? Because you're in the wrong room. You're fucked up. You know, you're paying too much money for the obvious. You just need to be in the right room, in the right environment to catch these things. Our goal today, me and Fire, was 2050. And I chased it because I was playing ISRG, and I'll go into that in a second. And I still made money. Played with 300 shares, and I needed 2050, and I got it right there when it popped. This was a great, great trade today. Here's another one, ISRG. This baby was just okay. ISRG came out with mixed earnings, and then the market was gapping down, and you're gapping down 38 points. So the first thing that's going to happen at the open, our shorts are going to cover, and especially in pre-market. So when I got into the room in pre-market, I told everyone, you know, this is pre-market. I'm going to show you pre-market. This is pre-market. I said, look, I started writing my notes when it was at 492. So I said, you know what? I long 492, 493. The stock will probably hit 505 today, 500. I think I said 500 to 510. Let's be accurate. Let's call it. And I have to give a little bit of space on this. I can't see. ISRG moves in dollars. It's like Priceline or Booking. So, and it's a high price stock. So I really wanted to let traders know, like, hey, you know, just so you know, this is going to go, it's going to move, but you got to give it range. But go ahead and buy the 492 and bounce it to 500 to 510. If it pulls hard at the open, I was hoping for a 485 pull. The stock should settle and push back through 500. So how did we trade it? Well, in pre-market, it already made a significant move, if you can see. You see that? So here's my notes, the 492 entry right there. Some traders in the room took it. I know because I watched a guy do it. He showed me his entry next. He just didn't want to post on Twitter. And he actually sold it. I think it was, what was it, Matt? 497? He's DM me. 497. Yeah, that's right. He scored 5 points on the trade. He saw my notes and he started going long, and he caught it. So he sold it around 497. He got like 4.5 by the time he was done because it popped at even at that 497. He was selling right into it. You have to limit order it. So he did very good on the trade. Anyway, the stock ended up going up to 500. Okay, so now the play's kind of done almost. You know, it already hit my mark. Now we got to wait for the open. So me and Mike, a trader in here, I think Matt was done with it. So Mike and I and a few others, we went after the second part. So this is where we went in. So it pulled and it hit 490 again. And I was like, oh, here's 492. And I'm like, you got to go long. I was trading, I think I was chasing some PYX, I believe, and RHE. I was in RHE, yeah. And so I was like, damn. And I actually chased it here. I believe we caught 580 cents. And then we got the pullback and we played it again. I ended up with $416 I made on this playing with 100 shares. I traded it twice. And Mike got 3 points himself. We went on this together. And look, I sit between 500 and 510. That's where the stock was going to probably cap off at. Look at that. If you take 500 and 510 divided by 2, that's 505. And he hit 505. And now the stock came right back down. See how beautiful that was? Here's another one. Now this one, nobody's going to trade except here. This trade is, you're only going to find in this room. And the reason is because we're the only ones that really seek a trade like this out. And I love these kind of trades because it's a cheap stock. It's a $50 stock. It lets a lot of traders trade with whatever capital they want. You could buy 200 shares, 150 shares. You're not going to get blown out. It's really a very fun trade. And I love these kind of trades. I love them. I love them. I love them so much. And all it is it's all about entry. And what's interesting about this is it's really hard from a technical standpoint. Forgive me if I could be wrong, but looking just at this chart pattern, it would really be hard to really draw this out. I could be wrong. I'd have to check with Fire and Dark Side and Janny, but I mean, I look at the zigzag here and I'm thinking, well, how do you chart this? I wouldn't even know where to begin. But for me as a day trader, I didn't need any. I saw a blank canvas and saw boom, boom, boom. And you know what I saw? This is what I saw. I saw it gapping down, right here in pre-market, and I'm like, why is this gapping down? I look, there's no news. So you know what I said? I said, you know what? This is going to pull to 49 at the open and go long, and then it'll probably go to 53. I shit you not. That's exactly what I saw. Just I saw this move in a blank canvas. Here's the gap. Here's the gap down. You see it right here? 52 from 54. I'm gapping down 2.5. Okay, so I said, well, if it pulls harder, if it goes to 49, long it, and then we'll gap fill it back to 53. That's exactly what I wrote. Imagine 100 shares, you made $400 doing nothing. This is the kind of stock that you literally call a no-brainer because you're gapping down on no news. So there's no significant news why it's down. It's just down. And then you look at it and you're like, okay, so how would AJ write it up? Well, AJ just writes it up pretty simple. RGNX, number 3 pick. Hey, stock's going to pull to 49, and when it does, it's going to go to 53. Imagine that. Imagine that. Think about it for a second. Think about it. God damn it, think about it. You're in a room, the guy's telling you, a professional day trader for 16 years, you're paying $6 a day for. He's going, oh, this is going to go to 49 and flip to 53. Just go along at 49. Are you fucking kidding me? If I put a blindfold on and put a limit order at 49.50 and get filled, you're going to tell me that this stock is going to go to 53? How the fuck would you know that? I don't know. I see this shit all day long. Come on. What do you mean, how do I know that? Look, if I'm wrong, prove to me I'm wrong. Prove to me I'm wrong. But for you as a day trader, you came in here with 5,000 buying power. That's a $4,900 to buy at 49. I bet I can make you $400 today on your first day in the room. All you have to do is buy the stock when I tell you. And I'm telling you, now, again, in this room, I'm doing an analyst report, right? This is my analyst report. It's called a pre-market game plan. So I'm an analyst, just like these analysts that speak every day on this stock, this stock, this stock should do this stock is worth this stock. I'm my own analyst. You're paying $6.75 for me to do an analyst report. For you, personally for you, to draw out a map where a stock's going to pop, stop, and go long. And here it is. 49, and the stock's going to go return back to 53. Are you ready? Ding, 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 ding. Here's the pull, 49. And guess where it hit? 49. 49. Didn't I just say 49? Read it again. See where it pulled? 49. 49. Now, where did I say it would go? Don't fucking tell me. Don't fucking tell me what to. Don't even fucking draw a line. Don't. Okay, I won't. Then don't look. Where did I say it would go? 53. You're speechless, aren't you? You have nothing to fucking say. What are you going to say? Whoops, I missed it again. I should have took it. Same old shit that you say every day. This is why we do the webinars. So you can stop making excuses and start trading and start making money. Okay? This is just Monday. We're just getting started. Okay? So I'm going to end it on that. And I hope that you really take everything that I talked about in this webinar seriously, because it's time for you as a trader to really start paying your bills. I mean, it's time. And it's time to execute. It's time to stop overthinking. But it's really time for you to just really try to understand the news. Because I'm telling you, the more you do and you understand the reason behind the move, then you can add all your technical analysis to the chart and you'll grasp it even more. I think technical analysis trading is amazing if it's done right. But for me as a day trader, personally, I have to have the news behind it first. Show me the reason why the stock will make the move, and then we can apply the technical analysis to it. And again, we trade everything from bios to analyst calls to buyouts to IPOs to upgrades. Let me tell you something right now. LRCX, keep an eye on this one. B. Riley upped their price to 235 prior to earnings. Why do you think they did that? Earnings is on Wednesday. Why do you think they did that? So I told everybody buy the 200 calls today when it dips. You could even buy the 210 weeklies. Stock's going to open towards 195 and under, and bottom curl and go long. Hit 193. They know something. Remember I told you last week we're going to start finding stocks that make moves into the earnings. We're going to get to see upgrades before they come out. Let's keep an eye on B. Riley on this, shall we? Anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. If you can afford $6 a day, click right here. That's all you got to do. Join the monthly. Scroll down. Okay. You can bypass all the positive reviews. Scroll down. All right. All thing, and there you go. All you got to do is click, and you get access. Boom. You're all done. $6 a day. Okay. That's all it takes. And you get to trade with us tomorrow. I look forward to talking to you and trading with you tomorrow. And by the way, CGC, let's see where it is right now. 48.55, and you all had it at $45 a share. May I love and respect. Take care. God bless, and I will see you tomorrow.